All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Spice and Wolf, episode 16. The game is afoot.
Yes, indeed.
Pyrite.
Yes,
Fool's
indeed.
gold.
Yes, alchemists.
Yes.
Potential shenaniganery afoot.
We can
Yes.
just scoop money right out of their pockets because,
Easy.
you know, it's a pretty rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we also have something even more fearsome. An independent businesswoman.
Clearly must be a witch.
Clearly a witch. Oh, no.
Yes. Yep.
I wish only the good things for her. I do like the way Lawrence is kind of getting to kind of have his time separate from Holo here, getting to kind of do his thing a little bit.
Yep.
But I'd also love to see them kind of come back together, having learned the things that they have. So
Right,
far.
because clearly this Amati boy isn't like a romantic rival, is he?
Oh, could he be?
Is it maybe?
Is it he?
Is it he? Is it so?
Oh no,
No.
no,
Say it ain't so.
never. But yeah, this is gonna be an interesting kind of setup that we've got going here.
Indeed.
I'm liking the side character perspective stuff, and within the new OP, there's some things being hinted at there as well.
There are.
So yeah, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this.
Here comes the knight in shining armor. Make way!
What?
I will repay the debt that weighs oppressively upon the nun's thin shoulder. Then, once her freedom is again restored, I will profess my feelings.
This is perfect.
Yes.
You think it's debt alone that binds us? Even free of it, she could still choose to stay with me.
Yes, she could, but I'm willing to take my chances.
Oh.
1,000 trini silver?
I believe that is correct. The amount she owes.
Yep, Holo totally owes that much.
No negotiations or discounts. Are we clear?
Perfectly.
No signing yet.
I accept.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Effectively signed it.
Whether Amati takes care of her debt or not, I'm afraid a wedding's just not in the cards.
Lawrence at 2, Amati going at 4. Who wants to...
Yeah! Let's go! Make
Yeah.
it a betting setup
Yeah.
here. This is so dumb. I love it.
I love the 1,000 trini silver coins. Oh shit, really?
Oh, all
You're
right. I mean,
I mean, if you're offering.
you are stupid.
Looks like you've been dragged into a messy situation.
Mr. Batos.
Is it really messy though?
Fine.
As unlikely as it seems, Mr. Amati does have a way to gather the funds he needs.
Oh. Alchemy stuff. He's in on the same thing.
Traveling is lonely. Having somebody to keep you company out there in the world is
Yep.
a priceless thing.
Mm-hmm.
To lose that is the kind of pain I wouldn't wish on any fellow merchant.
True.
What will you do if that boy hands you the 1,000 silver coins?
I'm not sure.
Laugh on his face and
Yeah.
do the Fortnite dance or something. Like an idiot.
Confident in yourself?
It's not that. It's that I have ample confidence in you.
Oh. She's like, wait. You just had Riz there for a second.
You looked around the room and determined the threat of ridicule was worse than the threat of defeat. Sweet me. I
Oh.
never believed Lawrence capable of accepting such a deal, who wishes only to remain with him always.
Yes.
Even if it makes me a pariah, I cannot accept your contract.
Oh.
Well, what do you think? Though the words would be appreciated, I would probably rest.
Yes, I would remember them. Yes.
When you think about it, being a good man and being a good adult are entirely incompatible distinctions.
You want me to take you to the festival?
Confidence is
Yes,
all
please.
well and good, but a
Snacks.
little bribery never hurts, does it?
Exactly.
Snacks now.
Yep.
I fear the truth is tale
Oh.
that I, a poor chaste knight, am held captive by the cold shackles of debt.
No wonder young Amati fell for you.
Yeah.
Starting to suspect that Lawrence is the one wearing the shackles here.
Ah.
There's a whole lot of people wagering a whole lot of money on what'll transpire after.
I believe it.
Isn't that what the real contest here is? A
Yep.
certain someone will pick after her debt is clear.
Uh-huh.
So, what's the actual story here?
In this world of incessant questions,
Yes.
curiosity should not always be satisfied.
Damn,
even if
she's
the
good.
answer is an easy one. If you would like to ask me what I will do if my debt is settled, just know, answers come at a cost.
No, I was just making talk. He was born Lauren, the third son of a pretty well-off family, but decided to
Aw.
strike out on his own because he didn't want to be...
We're gonna feel bad for him
Before we ruin him.
before we completely destroy him.
Knights have honor, but in a battle between merchants, it's cunning that matters.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It's the way of business.
Do you think that shepherd girl followed us to Commerson?
Hardly. If she did, it wouldn't be her we were hearing. Nor is a tailor now, after all.
You know, if you do not rise to my bait, it makes me seem petulant and...
Must be signaling the commencement of the festival.
Well, shall we? Food pairs best with a good show. I cannot see...
Is it going to be time?
Holo, this way.
Aww. Running hands and held and from a window. Yeah. Perfect.
What an excellent view!
All thanks
Perfect.
to Amati's generosity.
Oh.
What could be next?
Wait, so this is straw. This could be...
Okay. There's that part of me that's wanting to see if there's some connection between this and the lore we got about the bear.
Yeah, yeah.
Come get it before it's gone.
Well, now we're regretting being down here, huh? Lawrence,
You know, we haven't danced before.
I would like to participate in this.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh.
So sweet.
That's sweet. Why did you cut away from that, though?
Yeah.
Look at all the free wine.
Sleep off this barrel before tapping another.
This barrel, yeah.
The people giving out the wine actually just cut her off and were like, no, you've had enough.
Sorry, I have to step out for a bit.
Holding a mysterious letter to your bosom that reeks of a female?
She's a real beauty. Jealous?
Fool.
Fool.
Yeah.
You really learned something?
It seems like you came from the mountains east of Lenos. And our deduction that Yoitsu must be southwest of Nyohira refines that still further. Hopefully this letter has some more insight for us.
Slight happiness, but also...
But also not entirely happy.
Take half a year at least.
Just guess already.
You've got some nerve gallivanting around the festival while saddling me with a work.
That?
Well, since the intel I've gathered stands to make me a killing, I'll let your conduct slide this time. I was able to uncover his method for raising the final coin once you told me Mr. Batos knew of it.
Is he dealing in jewelry?
No.
Close, but not quite.
No.
Using something that's a far cry from precious metal.
Yeah.
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 Fortune teller involved?
Seems like it. Prevailing rumor has it that the fortune teller's aptitude for the preternatural was so alarming that the Inquisitors were summoned.
Of course.
Yep.
What do you think this is going for?
Their typical market value is about 10 Elaid coins, so 100? Well,
270.
you're kidding me. 270?
Women are all asking their wealthy husbands and suitors to buy them the Miracle Stone. It's become a status thing.
Yeah.
A competition on who spent what and who got the most of it.
Damn, that was a rack that just passed us.
Yeah.
Just how long has this market boom been going on for?
Where did well and truly gotten out by this morning? Around the time you were dancing merrily with the princess, a giant mob was descending on the stone merchant stall like a swarm.
So do you still think I have a chance?
Yeah, as much as anyone. Besides, it wouldn't hurt for you to raise some fun.
Yeah, just buy a little bit from here. Yeah. Yeah.
That 1,000 silver trenny he said he'd raise is all but in his pocket. Do you really think your princess will stay true?
I told you, there's nothing to worry about. I'll take his silver and use it with what I make on Pyrite to fund our way north.
Okay.
Yep. I mean, 1,000 trenny probably do a whole lot more than just fund the trip north.
Uh-oh. She read the letter. She does not look...
What did it say?
Can read?
Oh.
What should I do?
Wait.
It's gone. I have no place.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Folklore is often unreliable history.
Right, right.
By conquering
Right.
peoples with agendas.
You must have found it pretty amusing watching as my excitement grew by the day. completely oblivious to the truth.
Holo, calm down, please.
I am. Of course you knew about it. It actually makes a sick kind of sense. After all, you always have loved your weak, pathetic little lambs.
Oh.
Did you tell me to go back to Nyohira alone because you have grown tired of me, Lawrence?
Oh.
Yes, of course I do.
Oh, man, that...
Yep.
What do I do? I have no one waiting for me and nothing I can return to. No hope. Please, Lawrence, will you please make love to me?
Whoa.
The soul might not be human. The body is every bit a girl's.
Oh. Oh.
Because it dawns on me that I have a choice. That there is someone out
Yep.
there who wants me. Is that not the true reason for your calm disposition?
Yep. 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 There it is.
Holo,
Was what I was worried about.
I am sorry.
Oh, God.
Yep.
Oh, this hurts. Oh, it had new information. It had extra things on it. Wait. So it's not just... Read it. Oh, buddy. Oh. Wow, that... Oh.
I always forget that this show, like, it'll go from, like, calm, relaxing trip in the countryside to, like... all of a sudden,
Yeah.
oh, shit.
Yeah.
Fun episode, right?
Yeah, great episode.
Yeah.
This is awesome. I am in absolute shambles right now, emotionally devastated. The pain of the subject matter of, oh, what am I to you? What are
Right.
you to me? Is this even real? Is
Yeah.
this actually something we can put any kind of stakes on? You know,
Yep.
is this something that, oh, actually will lead to any real connection here? Or is this all just a mutually beneficial, just little partnership?
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love so much that it was in the throwaway line of like, I mean, I'd see what you're, going for here because like having a traveling partner, it's priceless.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
And it was like, it wasn't just the fact that like this was brought up, right? But it's all the little circumstantial things that just make
Yes.
it be that perfect storm, right?
Right.
It's the fact that they already had that little bit of like, oh, the boat being rocked of like, wait a minute, if it takes this long and like how long it takes to get there and all that stuff, right? Which on its own is a totally normal just thing of like, yeah, I can do winter trading. It'll take you a couple days, whatever, right?
No big deal.
No big deal, right?
Yep.
Then on top of that, getting the letter, right? Reading it, and Lawrence isn't there. And then she just sort of sits there in the room for a whole long time while he's doing his thing.
Yep.
And she just spins.
Yeah,
right?
she just spins for 3 or 4 hours or something. And it's
Yep.
just like,
Yeah.
oh no. I love personally the fact that this is what does it as like the final ting, like thing to drop on this here, because Holo's been bringing this up kind of for a while in that she is way more invested in the relationship side of things than Lawrence is.
Yeah.
And when you have people with basically unrealized and uncommunicated expectations, but not even expectations, disconnected desires with regards to why they're doing this whole relationship thing. Even though Lawrence does really need the companionship in order to break his loneliness as well.
Oh, yeah.
He's primarily in it for the fun, I would say, of just having the person there. Not the deep emotional need of the actual loneliness being combated. It's in the banter. It's in the play. It's in the repartee. It's in the actual days comings and goings, you know?
Right. That's why he doesn't need to always be the one with the riz or things like that, right? Because, it's all fun.
Well, but it's also he doesn't have a fear of her disappearing.
Right.
This is the part that I really like about the writing of this conflict is that when you look at it from Lawrence's perspective, he would do this because he's expecting them to come to Holo and be like, ha, nice play. We worked as a team.
Yeah, we just got 1,000
Trenny silver.
Trenny silver for doing basically nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
Way to go. We're such a great team.
Up top.
Also, you with that clever thinking there.
Yeah. I totally wouldn't have thought to do that.
Right.
You know?
But it's revealing in a lot of ways the cold-hearted aspect of Lawrence in that he believes he would do anything it takes to win. But what about in the areas where he thinks he's already won? The areas where he thinks he's already overcame the struggle and he's like, cool, I already have Holo.
Obviously, she's going to choose to stay with
Why
him.
would I make any effort, from here on out, in order to make this a better connection for her?
Sure.
It's
if
all
it ain't
got to
broke,
be.
don't fix
it's all got to
right?
be equitable based, transactions. If anything, and maybe if anything, it's I just ignore any kind of snack debt or whatever. That's my good thing I give back to you. When she's been far more vulnerable, far more emotionally resonant, far more actually forward in initiating and trying to grow the connection as well.
Both demanding more from him, but then also offering
giving
more.
Yeah.
Whereas
she's way more intense in this relationship because it's a fundamental human, if you will.
Oh yeah. Her
need.
Her life has changed from how it has been for the past, several hundred years, right, as a result of meeting him.
Right. But also, before that, she was extremely lonely.
Yes.
Extremely, to the point of
absolutely.
basically dormancy. I kind of got that vibe that her time in the grain and what have you was becoming basically a point of, I'll just sleep.
Sure.
I'll just...
Yeah, she just does the general thing that she has set up with the village because, might as well keep that going.
Right. But a thing that I had been thinking about for a while is, well, what kind of human connection do we have to that? That's honestly depression. The idea of just sitting in bed
isolation
all day and isolating and just being
because if you think about the kind of person Holo is, there's no shot that the village would not have many presently, recent stories of Holo if she was being in any way similar to the way she is now.
Right. So, no, she's not been. And now here, Lawrence is basically, in his cold merchant manner, revealed that he doesn't really care any bit about Amadi, which is sure, fine, whatever.
It's a nice, flip side of the previous arc in a lot of ways, right? No, we're not gonna, get all petty about Nora and stuff. We know what the situation is, right?
Right. But the idea then that Holo can draw the connection between herself and Amadi and the way in which he's made these equations look like they're his intent, she's like, oh, that's it. I'm just another object to you.
Right. It's that moment where the delicate balance of flirting basically that they've struck up where the refusing to communicate directly is the basis of the flirting. Right. Right. Because otherwise that wouldn't be flirting. That'd be direct, blunt, I desire you or something like that. Right.
Would you please, sleep with me?
Right. Exactly.
Now,
Who cares about the debt? Let's do this forever. Right. That's not what they've had. And the thing is that Holo has been the one that has demonstrated a higher level of proficiency in that and comfort in that space than Lawrence has. Right. But then all of a sudden, oh wait, it doesn't feel good anymore.
No, it doesn't.
Right? That insidious little fear gets in there, right? And it gets real big in the dark, right?
Real fast in the dark. Oh my God.
I love the detail of him coming back and it's nighttime and the room's dark and she's just in there and she's still holding onto the letter. It sucks so much to spin out.
Yeah, I think that's also a very human and relatable thing as well. It's not just something that we do. I think it's something we do frequently.
Oh, absolutely.
I can think of easily a dozen times.
I did it just yesterday.
Yeah. I did it just 2 weeks ago or so. It's the kind of thing where when you do it, it literally absorbs everything for a little bit because anxiety, fear, and all these
it feeds on itself.
Things there. Yeah, they are Ouroboros. They eat their own tail and it just
spiral.
continues spinning down until you basically just watch it and you lose. You're dazed, basically. You lose your grounding on things that you knew to be true and real before that.
And suddenly call it all into question. And so the fact that Holo is doing this only now and narratively conveniently at a time when Amadi basically exists, in some ways
could imply that she's been close to this kind of spinning out before, but she now feels comfortable actually talking about it.
Sure.
Because she actually does have an option. And I love that, because a lot of times these kinds of melodramatic things where we're going to threaten to split the main characters apart because a third party came in and offers a better deal, basically.
It feels pretty lame.
Oh, it not only feels lame, it feels contrived as all hell.
And even like full on insulting to the audience,
completely insulting.
But the thing is that there's this works because if you think about it, Holo's connection to Lawrence came from that desperate place where you were an option that was not whatever she was dealing with before, right? And she latched onto that real quick. So the idea of another option comes along, right? And yeah, there's going to be some part of her that needs to genuinely consider it because it's been a survival mechanism almost latching onto Lawrence, right? So now it's okay, but what do I actually want here, and how do I feel about this situation, right? It's easy to say that Lawrence is more secure than what I had to deal with before, but once I have multiple options, then it's like, wait, is Lawrence actually secure, right? Can I actually feel like I'm not alone here, right?
Yeah.
Is this something I can count on?
Yeah, and I love the element of Holo's pride being at play here, because this is the part where she kind of has the flaw that's kind of manifesting itself in a different measure, but just adding extra ammunition, if you will, to her spinning out here, is the idea that she never really resolved what went on with Nora. The thing about that was that Nora was, in some ways, simple. She's kind of an easy person to connect to with Lawrence. She didn't ask much of him. Which, in some ways, he likes. Because from a merchant standpoint, if you're asking something of him, you're basically becoming a rival as far as resources go. You're trying to take, and he's like, no, my job is to provide myself basically good one-ups on the trading game side of things, and someone that wants to take things from me is almost an enemy in some ways.
Yeah, like if the scale is close to being balanced, they have to actually look at it pretty closely, as opposed to if it's,
Yes.
Yeah.
But what Holo took this as is, oh, gotcha. You like particularly being in power, which is true. This is the part where I like that we need to make the distinction here, is that if Lawrence likes being in power, which if he's a merchant, what he's seeking to gain is more power, literally more resources, more currency, more standing, and what have you.
Yep.
That's exactly what he wants. But the reason why he wants it is not because he prefers the relationships of those that make him feel like he's more powerful. He likes the ways in which people end up basically working with him rather than play acting at their own kind of position and standing for the sake of kind of sparring. And that is nice in a flirty sense, but it's not actually the basis of a relationship. And this is the part that Holo doesn't understand. She thinks she can build a relationship on that.
Right, because
you can build an attraction on that, but you can't build a relationship entirely on that.
And for all her centuries of experience, she doesn't actually have that much experience with people. And so in this situation, it's you got the attraction thing down, right?
Oh yeah,
but then
you guys have some sparks going here.
It goes great. But then she's thinking, that's all that's needed, and so here, that's how I'll lock you down. Well, make love to me and all that. And he's like, no.
Right. I want to add something to that though. It's not just that she's like, okay, cool. Once you have the attraction down, you have the desire to be with me. That's enough. Yeah. There's also the element that she sees herself in this way as being this great being and what have you. So she doesn't often in her vulnerability or in her times where she's not being just entirely vulnerable, show little bouts of what I would call untarnished humility with regards to the way that she interacts with him.
Yes.
He also, I would say, has his own pride issues, but Holos are the ones we're focusing on right now. And they're probably a little bit more intense. Because
just a bit.
Just being, ancient and immortal and all that.
Right.
But that also creates a feeling of separation. That creates something that can actually actively harm the connection.
Right.
And I've always been wondering if that was one of the reasons why Lawrence doesn't fully go in on the I'm now flirting just for the purpose of showing you that I'm attracted to you, but more so from just the verbal sparring kind of thing.
Right, because
he sees it all as a game.
Well, in a lot of ways, she isn't actually letting him get close because she's continuing to play the game.
Not in the verbal sparring at all, but I'm talking about in the journey overall. She has given a lot of vulnerability.
No, yes, but like even in like the situation here, right?
Yeah.
When she's questioning, like, oh, can I actually count on you, right? Mm-hmm. Now, a lot of that, of course, is because she spiraled out, right?
Yeah.
Which, you know, it's a very normal thing to have happen. But as she keeps, like, sort of doubling down on it when he's trying to, like, comfort her and be like, hey, that's not the situation here, you know?
right.
That's...
I swear, she's just a friend, you know?
Sure. Yeah. Although, wait, hang on, what...
I'm just making the joke that this scene is typical in a lot of romance stories of the "Are you cheating on me?" structure.
Oh, sure, right, because it's the what's your real priority, and I don't feel secure in the relationship. Right.
I just found evidence of you holding some secret from me.
Which
you know,
when it's a test that you set up yourself.
Wait, what? Which test?
The 1,000 silver.
Oh, I'm talking about the letter.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Right, that's a different thing. There's also the whole thing of if he was actively trying to keep it from you, he wouldn't just leave the letter there.
No. The thing that was, overtly stated here was that he didn't think she could read.
Oh, that's true.
So he's like, no, that's the thing.
That is a great point.
And he even said, you can try to stretch yourself a little bit. Meaning, like, read it and, like, try to actually, like, read it actually fully and parse it out.
Yeah.
Rather than being like, here's the sound of this letter, and here's this. Maybe like, use it for practice. Basically, she took that as, I'm confident you will never determine actually what's in this, but I can placate you by throwing it here in such a way that has no real threat to my secret that I'm keeping from you.
Yeah.
And she takes it to the extreme sense of, you were mocking me, teasing me, as I started to get hope that, things were going well, and you use this as a way to reinforce that when there was never any actual chance of us, finding my
and
home.
even the thing that he would say of like before that scene of the, well, hey, it'll take us at least like 6 months to get there, right? That's the on the one hand playing into the thing that he hasn't told her that I think it's actually just gone, even though he himself, when it gets brought up, he's like, you can't know whether this is actually true, right? So it's the fact that there's a rumor about that versus, that doesn't mean he's like lying to her in some big deception, right? No. But even the reassurance of 6 months, that's still something that doesn't mean a whole lot to Holo. Because, again, for Holo, we'll just travel through the winter. It won't be that big a deal, right? Yeah. A few months is not that big a deal. Whereas for him, that's a lot, right? So him even saying, hey, 6 months, it's like, cool, we're going to be together we're not going to break up for 2 weeks, right? Like that's not exactly going to be very comforting, right?
No.
And so then you have all of this, right? And so because she believes that she has the potential of being abandoned and being alone, then it's
sex,
well, she offers sex, but also it's I need to pull away so that way when this scary thing happens, it happens on my terms.
That too. But also I think that was the thing that came after the sex basically
was turned down. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that was the like, oh, right, how could I not see it? You don't actually even like feel attracted to me. Like that was the thing that maybe was kind of like interesting there, where she makes the point of it being like you're too, professional, you're too
proper or whatever.
Yeah. But I think what it actually was that she's like, no, I've got my pride. I could just get you to sleep with me. If I just told you, hey, come fuck me, basically.
Yeah. You'd do it. Why would you say no?
But if someone actually said no, and yet it was someone that we had all these emotional, like, strong connections with, she'd be like, wait.
And you could also say that this is a continuation of maybe the frustrations that she has where she tries to like move things in that direction, right? She leaves those, those signals, makes those little advances.
Yeah.
And he doesn't respond to them, right? Because he has his own way that he's wanting this to go, right?
And he sometimes just is not cluing in.
Yeah, sometimes, and on top of that, sometimes he's not cluing in, right?
Yeah.
And so then with like it's the thing where this was probably a bit of an insecurity or a wounded pride thing, even all the way back then. And so then it's actually just compounding the problem because you're taking the thing that is already got you, like, you're already in a bad place because you spiraled out. Then you take the thing that you're already insecure about that hasn't been going the way you want, and then lean on it really hard to try and make it go differently this time, right? And it doesn't.
I think this is a thing actually a lot of people do. This is a very relatable part for Holo is actually, let's say, they know there's an area where there's like something, there's a little bit raw or a little bit painful or a little bit of a sore spot.
Sure.
And they generally don't confront it because it could lead to a lot of pain.
Right.
But there's I think a subconscious process that a lot of people will go through where they'll be like, oh, I'm going to force it suddenly, because I'll be happy with either decision because I can spin both to be ones where I can convince myself I'm okay with it.
Yeah. Don't try and don't think that you can properly put a spin on things when you're the one already spinning.
Well, that too, but I was just meaning that like people will do that kind of stuff to basically find proof basically that there was nothing worthwhile in the relationship.
Sure.
And this is something that
way they're not losing anything.
Well, this is something people do to basically form up a faux protection wall where it's the like, oh cool, yeah, you were never really interested in me anyway.
Right.
And then they cover the entire thing with that. And that's really
not helpful.
Not helpful. Yeah, I guess that's
for
the best
either
way to
party
say.
or the relationship.
Either party or the relationship, but it's something that I think a lot of people do.
Yeah.
And it's something that works short term rather nicely. Hopefully you find something to cover for it in the long term, otherwise you're going to be feeling it after. Yeah.
Right. The fact that it works in the short term is why it ends up becoming a habit, because otherwise it wouldn't, because you get the immediate negative consequence of it and learn not to do that, you know.
And all that being said, kid has white hair. Both of them have white hair.
Yeah.
There was a very clear intentional thing that they did with having Amadi's hair be white like Lawrence's.
Oh, yeah.
Just to make up that little bit of like, well, wait a minute.
Right. Lawrence being the gray, and then Amadi's being like the pale blonde, and then the child's being white.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
it's like that.
Who knows?
In between. Yep.
Who knows?
Yep.
But the idea that this is kind of the cliffhanger middle episode, it feels like, of the arc here. Well, then we'll have the, continuation of the drama in the next episode with like a finale or something to it in like an episode or 2 or 3.
Right. And what's rough is that this is coming off of the, like, in the early parts of the episode, it's the, cool, they're totally setting up their thing. They're going to play their game, right? It's business as usual.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden it's not.
Right. But the letter had something different in it.
Yeah.
It did not have just what he would typically look within. And
right.
This
it's not just the stuff
This is the part that has the most narrative inconvenience for me, is the idea that he didn't just read it and then was like, cool, I'm going to set it down. So he does the like, oh, I don't even know what's in it technically. I'm pretty sure I have an idea of what's in it, but I don't need to know right now. But because he didn't read it immediately,
that's why this happened.
That's why this happened. So there's something exacerbating it that he just found out about, in addition to whatever was brought up with Holo here when he read the letter.
And it's not something that he then talks to Holo about. It's something
Holo didn't bring up.
Yeah.
Necessarily.
Yeah. Right.
So it might be that from her perspective, here's now incontrovertible evidence that
Yoitsu is just
gone.
Yeah.
And from his perspective, he's like, no, it's mostly speculation. There's no actual thing for that.
Right.
But if the letter basically shows that, no, it is actually confirmed, then he's like, oh shit, she thinks I actually knew all this stuff that was in the letter.
Right.
And now it's kind of too late because, like, I don't know how I would convince her at this point that this is all or like 80% of it I knew, but not this 20% here.
Right.
So that's just fun narrative inconvenience for the sake of the drama, but because of all the other stuff that was just written so well, I don't really have an issue with it. I mean, we'll see what the actual contents of the letter are in the next episode probably, but
right. But either way, we have a mechanical, like, conflict here that can be engaged in with Lawrence in that Amati's doing some stonk market, selling and stuff with the pyrite.
With the iron pyrite,
Yeah. And so theoretically you could try and muck about with that. But I love the detail that the other merchants around, when they hear about like, oh shoot, this wealthy merchant kid is gonna, rake up 1,000 silver in dosh. Like that's a lot. We can follow in that way. We can kind of like ourselves,
pigeon eat the fries of the people sitting out by the dock or the pier.
He's moving all his crazy assets into this pyrite bubble thing. Cool.
Sure, buy it up.
Yeah, awesome.
Sweet.
Yep.
Yeah, it's really funny from a setup for something that could lead to both of them economically crashing potentially.
Sure.
But also it could be really interesting to see a setup where he does get all the gold, then after that all the stuff crashes, and then Lawrence has to basically go and be like, here's your money back. Like, I can't do this to you.
Yeah.
Because I want Lawrence to have the option to be the better man here in this story. But
also 1,000 silver.
That's a lot of money.
That's because I think he established that like his shop would be 2,000.
Oh, it's it's a stupid amount as far as his goal goes.
Right, it's ridiculous.
It's absolutely ridiculous. It's he needs to now train Holo how to be guard dog now, in addition to being
make sure the silver doesn't get stolen.
Right,
yeah,
exactly.
Right, like it's the sort of thing where
it's like that merchant, he's carrying 1,120 silver with him. It's like, the what?
Yeah,
he what? No armed guards? Nope.
20 dudes show up with weapons.
Dude, 4 dudes show up with weapons.
No, I know, but for that much money, 20 dudes just to make sure.
Yeah, right. But even then, it wouldn't be even be
It
necessary.
wouldn't be hard, yeah.
But like, it's just a guy and a girl there.
Right.
2 of them with arrows just go and be like, all right, boom, shoot him.
Yeah.
Grab the girl. Be like, we'll cut her head off or kill her if you don't hand over the money. Boom, easy. Horses, we're out. You'll never see us again.
That's the part of me that whenever these kinds of like, usually in like romance stories where it's like the money or the girl, or all that thing. I'm like, okay, there's no reason you can't actually do both. And like, yeah, pride and all that stuff.
Both? What do you mean?
Well, like in this situation, right? Lawrence can get the money and Holo could stay with him, right?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Right. And the whole honorable thing, all that stuff. Yeah. Or like, declaration of love, okay, but that's great and all. Declarations of love can be made a lot cheaper than that from a practical standpoint. This is life-changing amounts of money. We'll figure the other stuff out.
She's kind of just chomping at the bit for a lay. If you really just want to go into the barn back here, and I'm sure, like, she might be into it. I mean, you should just ask her. Like, go up there with some roses. Be like, I'm going to ask you out on a date.
Yeah, there should definitely be a conversation. Like, assuming this all, resolves nicely, right? There should definitely be a conversation after of like, so this whole sex thing, it's caused some complications recently. We need to figure that shit out,
Sexually? No. I mean, well, maybe. I mean,
sure. Yes.
Yes, absolutely. I would actually really like
Once
that.
we have clear heads, we're going to figure out this relationship thing.
So you don't know where to put it? Is that what it is? Like you need help, Lawrence? Oh, little baby man. That's how she would tease him, basically. If he's like, I need help, like, figuring out this whole sex thing. He's like, oh, Lawrence, you're a virgin. That's so sweet. He'd be like, shut up. And it's like, he actually was a virgin, indeed,
If she likes the lupine positions, she's got a convenient handle for... I'm just saying.
Oh, man. See, and here I was thinking that, never mind. I go in another direction there. But anyhow, y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the links in the doobly-doo up there. Watch full-length timer reactions there, and any level of support there gets you access to our Discord, where you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general. And also be sure to check out our Twitch channel. So yeah, if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.